Gotcha. A lot of this is nonsense, Nick, but it's Jack's life, it's my life, it's Flo's life, right? And people are interested. It's compelling a lot of ways. Jack does not seem to be happy with it. I don't want to run from the conversation. Obviously, Flow State doesn't want to run from it, so we're diving in. But Nick, what did you want to bring up? So we just get into it before we get back to Jack.
Oh, you were talking about gravity, and you wanted to ask Jack about gravity, but I said, hey, you can ask me about gravity. I know a thing or two about gravity. That's all.
Jack doesn't give a fuck. All right, so here's my thoughts, Nick, on gravity.
But you guys can do this first.
Well, let's just get out of the way, and then we can come back to you in a little bit. We can take sidebars. It's fine.
Nick sometimes loves nonsense too, though.
And the other thing is, I wanted to put this on ice a little bit because Flow State came in hot, and I know Jack's not feeling great about it. So let's just put it on ice for a second. Here's the thing, Nick. I'm okay with down is down. Okay, that things go down because they're more dense, relatively speaking, than their environment, and they go up, relatively speaking, because they're less dense than the environment. I'm okay with that, but go ahead. What does it mean to you?
Well, I guess I was just here if you had any questions about gravity. I did see in the comments, like, there's this sort of confusion between what is gravity, what is weight, what is mass, and what is density. While they are related, they're all different things.
Right.
For example, density is okay. So in physics, we have what's called a vector and what's called a scalar. And I'll try to explain this as simple as possible. Like, for example, temperature is a scalar. It's 67 degrees in my room right now. Temperature doesn't have a direction. It's just a value, whereas a vector has a quantified value and a direction. For example, we could say,
hold on, Nick, give us the cliff noted versions. We can get into this another. Give me your cliff noted, give me your postulation, give me your point.
Well, okay,
and then we'll go from there.
Well, weight is a force. Okay, so whereas density is merely mass per unit volume. That's all it means. Density doesn't have a direction. It doesn't go up, doesn't go down, doesn't do any of that. So whereas
you said weight is a force.
Weight is a force. It's an object's mass multiplied by gravitational acceleration created by a gravitational field. That's all.
Right. So
I know we say downward because
what's the proof of the gravity? Can you provide the experimental proof of the gravitational field?
Well, gravitational fields, that's a much more complicated question. I don't really have a Cliff Notes version of that. I'm
just asking you what your proof is for the gravitational force.
Well, that would be general relativity.
Right. That's so a theory is your proof. The theory is the proof. Is what you're saying.
A theory is again, this is a common misunderstanding. A scientific theory is proof. Unlike, like, for example, I have a theory that Jack and Flow State will make up, versus a scientific theory, which is a collection of facts that lead to a conclusion.
Right. So science. So you're basically redefining what science is, also. But you and I will have to have this conversation later because this is going to go too much. I at least know where you stand. And you and I could have this conversation at a later date about the theory of gravitation.
I just thought I could.
Well, it's a conversation. We don't have to debate it. But you just gave me the standard scientific answer, Nick. So you just told me what I could just read in Google. That's what you just told me.
Is that? So I would. Give
okay. Well, do you know my background? What does it matter? You don't know my background either. I don't care if you're a scientist. No,
I'm not disagreeing with you.
Right. I mean, okay. So what's the difference?
Scientist, what science is? You're going to get a.
Okay. Right. So you're going to ask the scientist who gave me the pseudoscience definition, which just came straight from Google, about general relativity, Einstein's 1910 bullshit theory that's non-demonstrable. Look, I'm willing to have this conversation with another time. I thought you were going to give me something good. You gave me Google, Nick.
Well, honestly, relativity is irrelevant. I mean, we can talk about Newtonian gravity, and all I wanted to say is that.
Why don't we talk about your science degree? Why don't we talk about how smart you are because you have your science degree? Can we talk about it? Because you're scientist.
No, all I'm saying is just what density is. Density.
Just call yourself a pseudoscientist, Nick. Cut down to it. At least be appropriate in how you define yourself.
Well, if you want to call me a pseudoscientist, that's your right. Okay.
Well, because you basically just told me that science doesn't involve, proofs, just conjecture.
No, science is a collection of facts that lead to a conclusion.
No,
Collection of
that's
data.
not.
Collection of
actually
data
wrong.
that leads to an interpretation.
No.
I mean the scientific method is a philosophy. It's we collect data and we see where that data leads us, and it leads
No.
us to a conclusion.
That's
For example,
research. That's
for
research.
example, plate tectonics, is the theory on why earthquakes occur.
Science is a method to elucidate the cause of an effect that we observe as a natural phenomenon.
Yeah, that would be an incorrect interpretation of science, but
okay, right. That's that's not the one that you like because it doesn't conform to your agenda. It doesn't conform to your religious belief in pseudoscience.
No, I don't have a belief. I'm just telling you that
you just don't know. You just don't.
Definition of density,
right? I'm not disagreeing with that. So how does that relate to what you're conjecturing as a force of gravity relating to the bending and warping of space-time?
Well, we don't even have to get that complicated. Let's just look at Newtonian gravity. I mean, objects fall. I mean,
okay, yeah, objects fall. What does it have to do with Newton? Objects fell before Newton, right? What does it have to do with Newton?
Well,
objects fall
existed before humans. That doesn't mean the Earth doesn't exist.
Well, we don't know any of that.
Well, we do. We do. We have
what if this Earth was made for humans? So you know that this Earth exists without humans, because every major religion of the world and every major spiritual thought in this world says that the Earth was created for humanity. Now, I'm not espousing that as a scientific belief, but just to say we know that the Earth existed before humans is a falsehood.
No, we have evidence because we know that the Earth has been around longer than humans. Therefore,
you're just Google. Dude, I'm going to call you Google. Can I call you Google instead of Nick? You're just giving me Google.
No, that's the information on
Google.
You
think you're smart. You think you're intelligent because you could just regurgitate fucking a search engine, bro.
Zedek, I came here to answer any questions you had about gravity. It seemed that you were confused about density.
No, you tried to educate me on gravity. I wanted to have a discussion about gravity. Okay, you're giving me the standard model of physics, dude. You're just giving me standard model. That's it.
Well, I'm very well versed in the standard model of physics.
Okay, well, I feel bad for you because you wasted a lot of time on a bunch of nonsense.
Not really.
Yeah, really.
It pays
well.
It pays well.
Really. I bet it does. Guess what? When I was the sucking the dick of this satanic beast system, I was getting paid pretty damn well too, Nick. Yeah, but I woke up and I decided that my soul was worth a lot more than the fucking bullshit shekels that they were throwing me for fucking perpetrating their bullshit system. Unlike you.
I'm glad that you found yourself. A lot of people struggle their whole life to do that.
Right. Okay. So you keep getting those shekels rained down on you.
I'm sorry that
you keep dancing like a little fucking monkey for your controllers. But you just keep being the little dancing bear for the fucking satanic elite controllers, and you'll be
more free by just accepting your theory.
No, I think you'd be free. I think you'd be free if you started to think for yourself. I didn't give you a theory. What's my theory? Did I give you a theory for gravity? You're the one who gave me the theory. I said things go down because down's down. That's not a theory. That's demonstrable. You're the one who came up here and gave me a bunch of bullshit.
I don't think you understand.
Right. This is the same argument I get from you. You know what down is? If you take a plumb bob and you hold it, that's down.
Down's a direction.
Right. If you take a plumb bob and the direction it points, that's down. Plain and simple.
Due to the
and guess what? That doesn't deviate anywhere. Right. So you just added the part about the gravitational pull.
How does the moon
That's your theory. That's the theory.
How does the moon
I don't know how the moon stays in orbit. I don't even know that it is in orbit. I don't care to know. You must have missed the beginning of my show where I said that doesn't matter to me.
Then we're not talking science. Then we're not talking science. I misunderstood.
No, that we are talking science because science is about things that can be demonstrated through experimentation. Don't talk over me. Science is about things that could be demonstrated through experimentation, things that could be observed, measured, tested, and repeated. How can the moon be measured and tested? It's just something we see in the sky. You can't perform a scientific experiment on the
you don't know how
moon
to do it.
unless
Right,
because I don't know how to do it. Well, what do I need? A rocket ship
well,
and
you know, I'm
NASA,
not going to
right?
argue with you. You can,
Right.
you can.
Okay.
choose
How
to
do
stay
how
dumb.
how do you
I'm going to
how
watch.
do
I'm going
you
to watch the drama
scientifically
because that
how
seems to
do
be more
you
at your intellectual
how
level.
do you're gonna run?
So,
You're gonna run. You're gonna
thank you
run
for letting me
because
on and trying to
I'm
educate you. But
destroying your
if you want to
religion
remain
of
a stupid
scientism
man,
that
then
you
stay a
love
stupid
so
man.
much.
Good day.
I'm destroying the religion of your science that you love so much, and you couldn't take it, and you showed yourself, and you ran. Tell me you could perform experiments on the moon to tell me what it is. You're a clown and a joke, and I respected you until you ran away. If you want to know the truth, I just thought you were deluded, but you showed yourself like all of you.
Thank God he ran away.
Right, Angela. Angela said it. He knows he can't take me on because he knows he's a clown. At least he just discovered it. All right, I'm glad I brought him up, Jack, because it puts you on ice because I know you're upset. All right, Jack. Okay, let's get back to the topic at hand after I just destroyed that guy. Jack, I know you were upset, and that's why you came on today, but you didn't even watch. You didn't even watch the video, and that's one of the things I'm going to bring up with you right now, Jack. You hold on. You're shaking. You're doing the thing with the face. It's the facial expressions. Stop it. Now, listen.
You can just ignore him.
Here's my thing, Flow State. He didn't watch the stream, but
He did. I bet he did.
Well, he said he didn't. It's a fucking 4-hour stream. I don't blame him.
And I'm on my second watch of it. It was a great stream.
All right, so okay, let's get down to it. We don't
Doesn't
necessarily
make me a liar, Flo.
You
Right, go
are
ahead.
a liar.
You keep alleging that. You
Mhm.
keep fighting
And
for
you
that
keep
opinion.
acting like you're the only one who has any truth. Everybody's confused. They need to come to Jack to clear up their confusion about things. Jack has monopoly on truth. This is why you're a liar. That's a disingenuous position to have. It's dishonest. It doesn't acknowledge that you might be wrong about something sometimes.
Well, Flo, that's not a position I took. That's one you imagined and assigned to me.
Here we go again with Jack knowing the truth. Okay, what is the position you're taking?
Flo, you conjectured a lot of things, right? You presumed intention and this false narrative
You're
of
projecting
to have this superiority, and I have never claimed such.
Okay.
Your insecurities are projecting.
You're conjecturing about my insecurities.
I can see them.
See, again, you have a monopoly on truth. The rest of us have insecurities and confusion.
Hey, Flo, rather than reverting to your opinion, can we focus on facts? See, because
you can't. You confuse those things. Hey, give me the fact. The next thing out of your mouth better be a fact, not an opinion or a virtue signal. Go ahead.
You don't control me. That's a fact.
But I can control the direction of this conversation.
I don't even know what's going on between you two, if you want to know the truth. I don't know what the fucking issue is.
Hey, Z, please, thank you. This is an opportunity. I encourage you. You have a gift of communication. I'm actually inviting you, please. This is an opportunity to help mediate.
Okay.
To help practice
let's get down to it. Let me ask you something. Let me start. Jack, do you want to continue discourse with Flow State, or do you want him kind of gone in 86th from your life? What is your hopes? What is your goal, and what is your intention specifically regarding your relationship with Flow State?
If he's unwilling to change his behavior with me, I want him out of my life.
Be more specific.
Well, your constant opposition and your mischaracterizations of me have been unhealthy and unhelpful. I've been tolerating and allowing a lot of nonsense for a long time.
Is it a mischaracterization that you disrespected your son's requests of you?
If you want to narrow this question to that scope, yes.
Did he ask you not to did he ask you to stay out of his life?
Several years ago, yes.
Did you ask him before you put his information publicly?
Flo, let's halt, Z. I am
you
not
don't
under
interrogation. We're doing facts.
All right, let me come out. Let me come in here. Let me join the land at the. All right, hold on.
Please
listen. I'm not as interested in Jack and his behaviors with his son, but people are, Jack. You put it out there. You're living your life online, and people seem to think this is a pertinent topic for some reason. Now, Flow State's asking you appear to be uncomfortable with it.
No,
I understand.
no.
Okay.
What
You're
here, if
not.
I may, please, Z, because again, you've mentioned that you're seeing conflicting signs between what I'm showing and what I'm saying.
Mhm.
I am sick and tired of the disrespect and this egoic pattern of placing me under interrogation, and I'm constantly under judgment and persecution. See, what I'm dealing with is not a fair question and answer. Flo is convicted already that I crossed the line and that I was vindictive
You're
towards my
saying
son.
I'm confused. So let's re-examine the
confused.
incident and see if I'm confused
Let's
or if
get to
you're
the facts.
obfuscating.
Yes, let's get to the facts and involve your responsibility of discernment.
That's what we're doing. So I'm asking you questions
we?
about the incident, and you're getting mad that I'm asking you questions.
Well, it's not so much mad, it's your attitude, dude, because you already ran around with this conviction and slanderous nature of me.
You're
Proud.
convicted. It's only slander if it's a lie.
Flo, I see a lack of respect for facts with
No,
you.
it's a lack of respect for you, not for facts.
Your
All right,
opinions
so-
of me are your problem.
Do you want to look at the facts of the situation? Because that's what I'm asking you about. I'm asking you.
Let me hold on. Hold on. Let's put this on ice. We could always revisit this conversation here. Let's shelf that for a second.
Thank you, Devon.
Flow State, do you feel like you're impinging on Jack's boundaries?
Right now, no. He came up here to
No,
talk to me.
in general, with this experience here. Let me ask, Jack, do you feel like Flow State is not honoring your boundaries? Right. So let me hold on. I'll give it to you.
Yeah,
this reminds me of So
Sorry,
what Rose? Hold on. What Rose was alluding to, I think, with you, Jack, and with the life coach, maybe that we're wondering if maybe you have an issue with establishing boundaries with people, and wondering if maybe you don't give off mixed signals to people, in a sense where, if Flow State doesn't know where the boundaries are or if they even exist, how can he then honor those boundaries? Go ahead.
All he's got to do is listen.
I know where the boundaries are.
See, there he goes. Yep,
I think Jack and I agree on this one.
Knows it all.
I don't respect his boundaries. I watched him the day before smash all over boundaries people had asked him to respect, and then ironically asked me to respect his boundaries by staying away. Hey, can I finish without you cackling like a fucking psych ward patient? So, of course, I don't respect his boundaries when he doesn't respect other people's boundaries. It's a farce. Like you're virtue signaling.
Hey, Z, I'm not going to continue this. Flo, you can kiss my ass. I didn't come here to talk to you. I came to talk to you.
Came to talk about me.
I did. Because
so you run off and I'll talk about you.
Hey, Flo, grow up. I'm easily reached.
No.
We can have adult conversation.
I don't want to talk. We can talk now, or I can talk about you. You
brother.
will be a topic for me.
Well, there he goes.
Imagine that. I didn't hear the conversation.
Okay, so in a real way, dude, I'm not even in touch with what the fucking issue is. If you want to know the truth, I'm not really sure what's going on. I don't know if it's just fucking farcical in some way. I'm not sure.
Do you want me to fill you in, or are you saying that because like it's not important to you?
Well, it's
because it's very simple. But he denied.
All right, hold on. Here's the thing. What are your intentions with Jack? Do you feel as though you are there in some way to help him, to promote him in some way? Is it
not necessarily?
Is it just interesting? Is it just at this point, like, I'm just wondering what it is?
Because honestly, at this point, it's self-indulgent. I think he's a dick and a piece of shit. And he has the audacity to run around saying I'm confused or asking me to respect his boundaries when my whole issue is that he is so disrespectful of other people's boundaries. That at this point, I just want to kind of kick dirt on him and enjoy watching him be dirty.
All right,
If
because
he
that's kind of my impression at this point is that
Yeah,
you're at a
that-
point with Jack where it's there, and the energy seems to reflect that when you
Yeah.
guys interact. 100%.
I mean, if he wants to act like I'm lying or I'm confused about something, I'm happy to actually sincerely and honestly look at the situation again with him. But there's no way to do that without him incriminating himself. Because I'm right.
All right. See, here's the thing, and this is where I was last night. Is that when I start to what's the word? I feel bad for Jack when he's like this, but he's more and more evidencing this, and I'm at a standstill with Jack in this regard, where I feel as though Jack is experiencing certain emotions and feelings,
Schizophrenias.
and his words seem to go against what he's communicating otherwise. It's what I was breaking down yesterday. His facial expressions, his body language, he's communicating something that maybe he's not even aware of. And when one tries to make him aware of it, this is the continuous reaction that we see.
I think he is aware of his body language and facial expressions. If you watch the way he manages his panels, when he starts getting like he projects his emotions through the nonverbal communication. I do think he communicates that way, but the convenient thing about it is that it includes plausible deniability. I didn't say that. Correct. You didn't say that. You were just televising it. So I think he knows what he's doing.
So I'm going to put it like this. I have no interest in causing Jack any type of consternation and unpleasant feelings. I thought the roasting was interesting, so I reviewed it. Once I decided to review it, Flow State, I was going to go all in on it because I'm not going to come up here and do it half-assed. And I gave my honest appraisal. I thought it was fair and balanced. Jack didn't watch it, so that's up to him. And I'll let him and the listeners decide what they want to make of it. But I'm just going to state here, I have no interest in like causing Jack pain. So
he's texting me now, so he still is interested in the conversation, apparently.
Jack, why would you leave the panel and then text them? That confuses me. So
remember, the insults you offer reflect your character more than just what you point at. I stand with honor next to the truth. Your insults belong with you and your corrupted heart. Dude has no interest in truth or in like being real with people. It's pure self-indulgence and virtue signaling. Jack, you're fucking fraud.
All right.
You have to have you have to have a little humility to be able to like even self-reflect at all. There's no interest in that.
Fair enough. Look, like I said, I'm going to leave. Here's the thing, Flow State. I'm going to leave it at this point because, like I said, I'm like, you and I could probably agree on many things about Jack, but not a lot of things. But the reality is, I'm not going to go in on Jack to cause him any pain. I don't want to be a part of that.
Fair enough.
So
I can appreciate that.
I feel as though he coming here today was sort of communicating that to me. So I'm going to take his step by coming here, and I'm going to process that, and I'm going to return it to say, look, I'm always going to give my opinion. I'm always going to speak my mind in a way, but if he's communicating that it's painful to him, I have no interest in perpetuating that. Even if you're right, dude, even if you're right about Jack, it's not.
I didn't watch the lead up to this, but I did see right when I clicked on, Lindsay said, one of Lindsay's comments said something like, Flo should be here to defend himself. Is there anything that I missed that he said about me that is worth addressing?
No, he just said you were basically talking shit, in other words. And you guys obviously have static. I don't know. I can't get in your mind, get into his mind. I don't know. But that's where my thoughts are right now. I don't want to cause Jack pain, but here's the thing, Jack. You must realize this. Jack, you have introduced yourself into our lives multiple times, right, Jack, where you're coming to us, at least to me. I don't know, but with Flow State, but Jack, you've made continuous efforts to approach me, to dialogue with me, and to build some type of relationship. So it's not like I'm just out of nowhere involved in Jack's life. So, and maybe he could understand that. But with that being said, I want to be balanced in this endeavor. And I'm just putting that out there to anybody listening, including Jack. I don't want to be a part of causing him any harm, even though maybe that's might be what he needs in some way. Just like I thought Rose did a great job with Jack on her show, but I know it hurt Jack, and he admitted to it a little bit before he got on that he was not completely pleased with the interaction that he had with Rose, but he said that he's looking forward to building the relationship. So it is what it is, but I'm just not going to go in on Jack. I'm just not.
Well, that's fine. I think that I just want to point out that there's something to be gleaned from the fact that he's very interested in controlling the perception on this topic, and on my opinion about him, but without actually wanting to address me and my opinion with me at all.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know what to do. The Jack issue is I was going to pull Flow State the first time that I ever met Jack. He approached me, you know what I mean? And then he approached me and he approached me. He approached me. So Jack is continuing to pursue a relationship with me, at least, and obviously multiple other people. So I'm involved with Jack in some way. It's not like if you're new to this thing that I one day woke up and decided, that I was going to start critiquing Jack. He's making himself part of this conversation in a very active way. So I'm going to leave it there. And Flow State, I'm going to hesitate to give you any advice except to say, blessings. And maybe the one thing I'll say to you is maybe evaluate how this is affecting Jack on some level. Not saying that you have. I don't care
about how it affects Jack at this point. Jack is a target. Jack is a target. He made himself a target. He's a dishonest target, and he's going to continue to play the victim. And I'll continue to go at him all I want to. I have lost all respect for him and for his virtue or the good intentions that he claims to have. He doesn't. It's trash. I've watched him for a year and a half. It continues to get worse and worse, and his facade is kind of crumbling the more I see holes. I'll shut up about it now out of respect for your position on this, but
yeah, I mean,
Jack, I'm coming for you.
With it.
I'm coming for you, Jack. Just know that's it. Oh, and Cynthia, I told you.
God,
this is Cynthia's fault too. Cynthia on my panel last night. Cynthia was kind of like starting to speculate. The way that you and Jack were about Paul a couple of months ago, sort of trying to imagine scenarios in which somebody's obviously hostile actions are motivated by not hostility. And I told her the more you take up for Jack, the more I'm going to go for him. So I'm a man of my word. So I just want to point out that I'm making good on this, Cynthia.
Fair enough, man. All right, much love and much love to you, Jack. I can't. It's like watching a puppy dog at this point. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's hard for me. It's hard for me to see Jack in pain.
I'm glad that you were able to finish the show last night, though.
Well, that's the thing. So here's the thing, Flo. He came in hot towards me today. Like if you go back and review it, he came in hot. And look, I mean, obviously, I critiqued his video. I thought I was fair, but I could understand why he was not completely thrilled with my narrative on him. Jack, a lot of it was me just lampooning the situation. I'm going to say this to my audience. I don't really think Rose is. Let me say this to Jack. Jack, Rose also was the brunt of a lot of my shit last night. She doesn't appear to have a problem with it. Rose understands that I don't think she's really a Jewish Mossad agent who's here to control everybody's life. It's a lampoon. It's an alliteration. It's hyperbole. A lot of it's satirical, man, and it's rhetoric. It's a style that I use to communicate things to my listeners and to prove points. So I don't see Rose coming up and screaming at me about the nasty things I said about her about being a Jewish Mossad agent. But with that being said, I will take in your expression, Mr. Talcott.
Did you see that Rose or Divine said that Rose is coming up in that comment right there?
She might come up a little. I think she said she's not ready to come up. She's doing something. So either way. So look, I don't want to look. He's going through a lot. He's making mistakes. I would agree that there's some inconsistencies with Jack, and there's things about Mr. Talcott that really fucking drive me crazy. He's intractable in so many ways. It's like Brown's boy was trying to make that point last night about Jack, is that he's so persistent in his mindset. And I don't see a lot of give and take with Jack. And some people can interpret that as a high degree of narcissism, but it's just a word.
It's not, but it describes, everything's just a word, but they describe real things. And what it really describes is the rigidity of him being absolutely right.
I think Jack has a lot of anger that he's not in touch with.
Yeah. I think
it comes out at times, yeah. Because people say, "Z, you're angry too." Yeah, but I'm in touch with my anger. I know I'm a fucking angry, fucking Guido, South Jersey, like son of a bitch. I know that about myself. It's not news to me, everybody. But I think Jack's hiding a fair degree of anger and pain and trauma. And isn't that what it really comes down to in the end? Is trauma. So many people with trauma. And I think Jack is in the middle of it. I think he, like so many people on these platforms, they'd like to espouse that they're above it. And I think it's tough for Jack because he seems to be playing the guru role. And when one places himself in the guru position, one needs to be kind of spotless.
It's an authoritative position. He places himself in the authoritative position.
And it's tough for him because then he has to then feel rejected and dejected when he can't live up to that, or the persona falls short. That's why I do a show, everybody. That's why it's Z show. It's so I could be goofy, I could be a clown, I could be informative. It's not like a guru thing. I did it on purpose from the beginning, Flow State, because I saw the fucking guru mentality that was forming around these, YouTube communities, for lack of a better term. And I purposely presented a show to avoid that.
And that's why you don't encounter the same issues that he does. Myself as well. I don't ever present myself as a guru. I learn shit all the time. And everything I learn through my own errors. But you'll never learn from your own errors if you've decided that you've already know everything, which is the position he puts himself in, which is why he gets rejected, because he opens the door saying, I know better than you. I'm your authority. That's what's being communicated there.
All right, Flow State, much love. I'm going to process this whole thing. I hope we can move, because here's the thing, dude. Here's the thing. And I said this to Jack when he came on, so I'm going to say it again, but I'm going to say it to Flow State. I'm concerned Jack has the possibility to do something harmful to himself.
Everybody does. That's
sort of but I'm concerned for Jack, if you want to know the truth. I'm just putting it out there. Anybody can. And this is, Z, you told people to kill themselves a year ago. You remember when you told Crunchy Bee to off himself? Yeah, I didn't really mean Crunchy Bee to do that. You have to understand.
I think that everybody knew that too. People were just looking to misinterpret something.
All right, much love, Flow State.
Yep. Oh, and before I bounce off, Rebecca Joe had a comment down there. Why not go your own ways? Rebecca Joe, if I were so inclined to do that, we just like today. We had a conversation last night. Today he swoops in to correct the record. If he thinks he's going to come in behind me, if that we're going to go our own ways, then he's going to come in behind me and correct what I previously said. That's not going your own way. So I just don't see that happening, because I don't see him letting a narrative stop. All right. Thanks for having me up.
All right, Flo. Blessings to you and to Jack. Blessings to both of you. I'm at a point, guys, where I can't participate with certain energies. It's not. And I get it. They're having conflict with each other in a lot of ways, and that's between them.